Welcome to GRIDNET OS, the world's first 100% decentralized operating system. Unlike traditional operating systems tied to the local machines or cloud servers, GRIDNET OS runs entirely on a decentralized state machine. There are no central servers, yet it delivers a familiar computing experience reminiscent of DOS, Linux, Windows, or Mac OS. This groundbreaking platform is powered by the GNC token, the lifeblood of the GRIDNET ecosystem, which ensures every computation and service is backed by a truly utility-driven cryptocurrency. GRIDNET OS is essentially an entire operating system reimagined on a blockchain. It delivers a graphical user interface and terminal that look and feel like those of a conventional OS, but under the hood, everything is decentralized. Users can open windows, run programs, and issue terminal commands in a way that's instantly familiar, except there are no central servers at all. This isn't a future promise. GRIDNET OS has been live and evolving since 2017, built by a dedicated team nicknamed the Wizards, who have logged hundreds of terabytes of live programming sessions. What you get is the comfort of a traditional OS combined with the trustlessness and security of blockchain. In short, it's a user-friendly gateway to the decentralized world, bringing mainstream OS usability to Web3. Let's look under the hood at what makes GRIDNET OS truly unique. First, it features a 100% decentralized UI. When you launch the OS, the interface itself, windows, icons, menus, is loaded from peers across the network, not from a fixed server. The system verifies everything cryptographically, so you get a seamless GUI that no attacker or single entity can secretly alter or take down. Next, consider decentralized processing threads, DPTs. This technology allows apps to offload work to other nodes in real time. If your decentralized application needs computation, it can spawn threads on remote machines, and those machines get paid in GNC for each instruction executed. It's like having a global decentralized CPU, a cloud, where tasks are handled by incentivized peers. Furthermore, GRIDNET OS includes a decentralized file system. It's not just read-only blockchain data. It behaves like a normal file storage where you can create, modify, or delete files, and set permissions with familiar Unix-style access control list commands, like set facial jet facial. All file changes are tracked on an immutable state machine, meaning you get file sharing without any central file server, truly empowering users with data ownership. Finally, communication in GRIDNET OS is inherently secure. The OS implements the SPIDE protocol, Sybil-proof incentivized data exchange, which ensures that no fake identities, Sybil nodes, can overwhelm the network and that relays of information are rewarded for their service. Every message or data packet is encrypted using custom elliptic curve cryptography encryption and routed through multiple nodes, onion routing. This means messaging, whether it's chat, calls, or data sync, is private, secure, and immune to Sybil attacks by design. In summary, the core of GRIDNET OS achieves what was previously thought impossible: an entire OS's UI, processing, storage, and networking, all decentralized and working together in real time. From a developer's perspective, GRIDNET OS offers a unified, decentralized playground. At the heart of it are GridScript and GridScript++, languages tailored for this OS. Imagine writing a script that can both print output to a user's terminal and simultaneously update the blockchain state, GridScript++ makes that possible with its multi-domain design. This dual capability lets one piece of code handle what normally would require separate front-end and smart contract development. On the other hand, if you're a web developer, you can jump right in using standard JavaScript, ECMAScript 6. The OS allows you to create windowed GUI applications with the same JS knowledge you use for building websites. You don't need any special SDK or new programming language for UI decentralized applications, no Angular, no React, unless you choose to use them. Plain JavaScript works because GRIDNET OS's environment is WebTech friendly by design. This significantly lowers the barrier to entry for decentralized application development. Millions of existing developers already know how to build for this system. Crucially, GRIDNET OS provides an event-driven API. Your app can subscribe to events like blockchain state changes, network messages, or user actions, and handle them asynchronously. For example, you can write a decentralized application that listens for a payment arriving on-chain and immediately unlocks some content, all without any centralized logic. The OS's asynchronous ECMAScript 6 API ensures real-time responsiveness. Decentralized applications feel snappy and live because they react the moment something happens in the network. Another huge perk is that, as a developer, you don't need to run servers for your GRIDNET apps. There is no notion of a central backend. The backend is the decentralized state machine itself. Need data storage? Use the decentralized file system with access control list for access control. Need to perform computation? Dispatch a decentralized processing thread. Need user authentication? The GRIDNET token mobile app and blockchain identity handle that. Essentially, GRIDNET OS is a full-stack platform, front-end to back-end, all on the blockchain. This means less infrastructure to maintain, lower costs, and no single point of failure. It's a paradigm shift. You focus on logic and user experience, and the OS's decentralized network handles the rest. Now let's talk about what GRIDNET OS means for everyday crypto users. The short answer is a much better user experience. For the first time, interacting with decentralized apps can feel as easy as using your PC or phone. When you open GRIDNET OS, for example via your web browser, you're greeted with a familiar desktop environment. There are windows, menus, and even a terminal for power users. This is crucial because it bridges the gap. You no longer need to be a blockchain expert to enjoy decentralized applications. On GRIDNET, you'll find and will see emerging a rich ecosystem of decentralized applications. Think of anything you do on the internet: social networking, gaming, productivity, commerce. All of these can be delivered as decentralized applications on this OS. Already, the system supports social features like voting and polling built in, which means a developer could launch the next Twitter or Reddit on GRIDNET OS, and it would have community governance tools ready out of the box. The same goes for games or business apps. They can leverage the OS's real-time micropayments and file storage to provide experiences like massively multiplayer online games or collaborative documents without any central servers. For users, this means more freedom. You can choose decentralized versions of your favorite services that respect your ownership and privacy. Speaking of privacy and security, those are baked deeply into GRIDNET OS. All your communications through the OS are securely encrypted and onion routed. If you're chatting or sharing files on a GRIDNET app, you don't have to worry about eavesdropping or data breaches that plague centralized platforms. Your data lives on a tamper-proof ledger and is accessible only by you and those you trust, thanks to cryptographic access controls. Additionally, because the network is Sybil-proof, Attacks by fake identities or spam nodes are mitigated at the protocol level. For the user, this simply translates to a safer online experience. No Big Brother, no hackers grabbing a trove of centralized data, and no sudden loss of service because a server went down. The network is resilient by design. Finally, ease of access. One of the beautiful things about GRIDNET OS is you don't need special hardware or to install complex software to try it out. The entire OS can load in your web browser, meaning instant access from any device. And if you do use the mobile app, it's primarily as a secure key. Just scan a QR code and you're logged in securely. There are no seed phrases to type or long addresses to copy for daily use. The experience is streamlined. In short, GRIDNET OS is bringing the convenience and familiarity of Web 2 to the decentralized Web 3 world, so crypto users can finally have decentralization with convenience, not one or the other. Now let's switch to GNC tokenomics, a critical area for investors. GRIDNET's approach to tokenomics is all about sustainability and transparency. At launch, the circulating supply was modest, around 5.7 million GNC, giving the project a low initial market cap. From there, supply growth is very systematic. First, through mining. Similar to Bitcoin or other proof-of-work chains, miners earn GNC for securing the network. The block time is about 10 minutes, and each block grants 90 GNC, minus a tiny miner tax. If you do the math, that's roughly 388,800 new GNC per month being introduced as mining rewards. This not only secures the blockchain, but also fairly distributes tokens to those who contribute computing power, keeping power decentralized in the community's hands. Over years, mining will add a steady known amount of GNC into circulation, contributing to a predictable inflation. Second, there's the ISO fund vesting mechanism, which is quite unique. The project set aside about 946 million GNC in a fund to be used for development, ecosystem growth, and long-term incentives. But crucially, these tokens aren't just dumped on the market. Instead, they are released on a fixed 40-year schedule. Yes, 4 decades. The release isn't linear. It's designed with strategic spikes every 5 years. For example, the first 5 years have a gentle monthly release, approximately 0.05% of the remaining fund each month. Then years 6, 10 increase slightly, approximately 0.08% per month, and so on. These periodic increases act as boosters to stimulate the ecosystem at intervals, almost like milestones, rewarding long-term participants and generating renewed interest at predictable times. By the end of 40 years, all those reserved tokens will have entered circulation in a measured way. This demonstrates the team's commitment to the long game, prioritizing longevity over short-term hype. A big concern with any token is inflation. If supply grows too fast, it can undermine value. GRIDNET tackles this head-on. Inflation is kept within reasonable, predetermined bounds. Every month, the protocol can calculate the inflation rate from mining plus vesting, and this number is transparent to all. The key point is, much of that inflation is not arbitrary giveaway. It's rewarding the network maintainers, miners, and funding development, which are productive uses. And importantly, no central authority can alter the emission schedule. It's governed by code and the consensus of the network. This means investors and participants don't have to worry about surprise token dilutions or policy changes. The rules of the game are set in stone, fostering trust. Moreover, GRIDNET OS goes above and beyond to make sure investors have full insight. The platform itself includes tools like the market utility and dashboards, where you can see things like current market cap, monthly and yearly inflation rates, and how mining and vesting are impacting supply. It's one thing for a project to claim transparency. It's another to build it into the product. Here, you can literally watch every token release from the ISO fund in real time, which is quite empowering. This level of openness turns investors into active participants. You can verify the tokenomics as the project progresses, reinforcing confidence that the economy is healthy and as advertised. Summing up, GRIDNET's tokenomics are engineered for stability, fairness, and long-term growth. It's a balanced ecosystem. Predictable supply increases that reward contributors and fund development, all governed by decentralized consensus and observable by everyone. It stands out as a token model aiming to be a beacon of stability and innovation in the crypto realm, inviting investors to think in terms of years and decades, not days or weeks. We've talked about how GNC is distributed and managed. Now let's explore why GNC has intrinsic value in the GRIDNET ecosystem. In GRIDNET OS, the GNC token is deeply woven into the fabric of the system's operations. It's a true utility token in every sense. Consider decentralized computation. Suppose you're using a GRIDNET application that needs to perform a heavy calculation or run an AI model. With GRIDNET's decentralized processing threads, your task can be handed off to idle computing power elsewhere in the network. But that isn't free. You'll pay a tiny GNC fee for the milliseconds of processing you use. This is done via off-chain micropayments in real time. It may be only fractions of a token for you, but for the node that did the work, those tokens add up as a reward. This is essentially a decentralized cloud computing service powered by GNC. As more people use the network's computing capabilities, more GNC changes hands to compensate those providers. If demand for computation goes up, say, a popular decentralized application is doing lots of on-the-fly rendering or data analysis, the utility and thus value of GNC goes up correspondingly because everyone needs some to fuel their tasks. Now think about data and communication. In GRIDNET OS, when data is routed across the network, like a message, a file chunk, or a live stream, it isn't purely altruistic. The nodes helping to carry that data can be tipped in GNC. The SPIDE protocol ensures that these relayers are identified and rewarded via the blockchain's intrinsic asset. This is a big deal. It turns bandwidth and connectivity into something you can earn from. For users, it means your GNC is buying you not just tokens, but actual network reliability. You are effectively paying peers to deliver your data quickly and securely. And for those running nodes, GNC provides an income for contributing resources. The entire network becomes a marketplace where GNC is exchanged for services, CPU time, bandwidth, storage, etc. On the storage side, while details can get technical, the concept of incentivized storage exists as well. Suppose you want to store a large data set and ensure it's available to others. You could compensate nodes in GNC to host redundant copies of that data. Thanks to GRIDNET's decentralized file system with access control lists, you can control who accesses it. And thanks to GNC micropayments, you can keep it persistently hosted. Essentially, GNC enables a decentralized cloud storage economy, again, tying value to actual usage of the network's capabilities. All these examples point to a key principle. GNC's value is usage-driven. It's not just a governance token sitting idle, nor just a stake for validators. It's constantly being transacted for real services. If GRIDNET OS becomes as widely used as we envision, with developers deploying all kinds of decentralized applications and users engaging in social networks, games, and business apps, then GNC will be in demand to power every action those apps take. Need to cast a vote in a decentralized poll? That might involve a tiny GNC fee or reward, launch a new smart contract or decentralized application service. You might stake some GNC for performance. The point is, as the ecosystem's utility grows, so does the utility of the token. This alignment of the token with actual platform usage is a strong indicator of a healthy economic model. It means the token isn't valuable in spite of the project, but because of it. Investors and users alike can take comfort that GNC is fundamentally backed by the demand for decentralized computation, communication, and storage, the core resources of the next-generation Internet. One question you might have is, how real is all of this? The answer is very real. GRIDNET OS is up and running today. In fact, it's currently live and accessible to the public. You can go to the GRIDNET website and launch the OS directly in your browser or download the GRIDNET Core application and help grow the network. This isn't a prototype or testnet. It's an operational network. Over the years, as people have used it and provided feedback, the system has become more robust and feature-complete. The existence of a working product de-risks the project tremendously. It's not relying on future development to deliver value. It's delivering right now. Backing this up is a serious foundation of research. GRIDNET OS didn't appear overnight. It's the result of years of R&D and academic collaboration. The team behind it has published their innovations in peer-reviewed journals. For example, they published an MDPI Electronics Journal paper on how to create a decentralized OS user experience and introduced concepts like decentralized processing threads and deferred authentication in that context. They also have a Springer cluster computing paper detailing the SPIDE protocol, the first Sybil-proof, incentivized data exchange framework. These aren't light blog posts. They're rigorous studies that have been vetted by other experts. This academic rigor means the platform's claims, like Sybil-proof communications or decentralized threads, have been mathematically and experimentally validated. As an investor or developer, it gives you confidence that GRIDNET's tech isn't hype. It's grounded in proven science. The team's track record is another strong point. They affectionately call themselves the Wizards, and for good reason. They've pulled off something many thought impossible. Led by founders with deep expertise, the team has been coding live almost daily since 2017. Imagine a project where you can drop in on their Discord and actually see progress hour by hour. That's the level of commitment here. This openness has cultivated a community of supporters and contributors who've watched the OS take shape in real time. It's not just a small Devi team in isolation. It's an expanding guild of enthusiasts, testers, and independent developers. The Wizards' consistent engagement and the transparent development process have built a lot of trust and enthusiasm in the community. Speaking of community, GRIDNET's user and developer community is vibrant and growing. The official forum is active with discussions, and the GRIDNET magazine regularly updates with tutorials, news, and deep dives. For anyone new, there are resources to learn how to write grid script or deploy an identity token, etc. And if you're a developer, you can get involved today by writing decentralized applications or even contributing to the OS itself. The project is very much open to collaboration. It's not a closed corporate product, but an ecosystem in which developers, users, and even miners have a voice in governance and evolution. This strong, engaged community further de-risks the project. It's harder for things to go astray when you have many eyes on the code and many stakeholders invested in success. Overall, the technical readiness and communal support make GRIDNET OS a project with real momentum and credibility. In closing, let's reflect on what GRIDNET OS and the GNC token signify. We are truly at the dawn of a new paradigm in computing. For decades, we have been dependent on central servers, whether it's big tech cloud services or even smaller client-server apps, with all the limitations and vulnerabilities that come with centralization. GRIDNET OS shows that there is a different path. A world where users run the show, where the operating system itself is decentralized. This isn't theory. It's happening right now. It's a profound shift comparable to the move from mainframes to personal computers or from desktop to cloud, except this time, it's a shift from centralized cloud to distributed cloud owned by users. As an audience of developers, crypto users, and investors, you are looking at a working model of that future. The GNC token is central to that story. We've emphasized that it's a true utility token, and that's worth reiterating as we conclude. Every facet of GRIDNET OS's operation ties back to GNC usage. Unlike many crypto projects where the token's purpose can be vague, here you've seen concrete examples of GNC enabling real services, computation, data transport, storage, voting, and more. This means GNC's value is organically connected to the platform's success. As more people use GRIDNET OS and demand its services, the more indispensable GNC becomes. It's not just an investment in an idea, it's an investment in a working economy of a decentralized OS, a token with a utility-driven value model at its heart. So, what's next? Your participation. GRIDNET OS is not a closed garden. It's an open ecosystem that thrives on collaboration and usage. If you're a developer, we invite you to download the software development kits, hop on the forum, and start building. Whether it's a simple decentralized notepad app or the next big decentralized finance platform, you'll find an environment that is both powerful and welcoming, with a community and team ready to support. If you're a crypto user, try out the OS for yourself. Open your browser and launch GRIDNET OS. Create an identity, explore the decentralized applications that are already there. You'll get to experience firsthand how intuitive decentralized computing can be. And if you're an investor, consider the long-term vision you've heard. A 40-year plan, a live product, a dedicated team, and a technology that addresses real needs in scalability, security, and user experience. Projects like this are rare. They combine technical innovation with practical usability and sound economics. The ecosystem is already operational and growing daily. By joining now, you become an early participant in what could very well be the next big chapter in blockchain and computing history. The team and community, the wizards and all of us enthusiasts, are forging something revolutionary. We encourage you to step into this world, contribute your skills or support, and share in the growth of GRIDNET OS and GNC. Thank you for listening, and welcome to the future of decentralized computing. Let's build it together.